Hello again. I have several hopes and doubts for Classic WoW, and I want to cover them from my stance. This is less from the development perspective and more from the perspective of how the game will end up playing out. As many of us know, private servers have mixed numbers and occasionally broken items. The auction house gets very inflated, and GM abuse does happen where the game masters will do anything that they can do to get money from the players. So let's dig into this and theorize a bit on how Classic WoW will play out on release. Due to private servers becoming so well polished over the course of the 15 years since World of Warcraft was released, we can kind of get a grasp on how the game will be. To me, private servers do not play the same way Classic WoW will hit, contrary to popular belief. There are 3 things that will be introduced to the game when Blizzard releases their version of it. As they stated, their current game engine will be used to recreate Classic. The first thing, as part of the engine that I want to go over, is a large cause for gold farming, auction houses having horrible prices, and the lack of an MMO experience. This is localization. With Classic having localization, we will not be playing with others from China or anywhere out of our area. A common symptom of not having this is walking around the world and seeing blank text appear above somebody's head and not being able to talk to the other players because they will respond with a statement saying they don't understand you, or it will be in another language. Localization will be a big improvement for the communication aspect of the game, and as well, we in America play games different than other regions of the world. To steady on with the features, the engine will promote Let's Hit the Server Cap. A server cap will exist unless Blizzard uses phasing in Classic WoW, which is heavily doubtable as phasing would make the game not Classic WoW. Having a server cap of about 4K per faction, or whatever the number was originally, then splitting multiple realms will certainly adjust inflation and prevent many of the poor manners PvP playing from happening. Localization and a server cap will definitely demote poor gameplay, such as ganking lower levels. Of course, the patch which Classic starts on could make a huge difference, depending on dishonorable kills. Should dishonorable kills in Classic be a thing? I think so, but that's my preference, being a higher level who has the ability to go to a red ridge and kill as many people as I want just to be a troll. Get it? Because my character is a troll. The last thing that I will cover, which Blizzard will introduce with Classic WoW, is their ease of use. Anybody who has played a private server did have to pirate the game at some point in time. It is very easy setup process to download it and change realmless.wtf by opening it with Notepad and setting a web address or external IP. However, this is enough to detract players. Out of the people who are playing on private servers right now, I'm gonna guesstimate that it is only 5% of the people who want to play Classic WoW. Many years, I have refused to touch private servers, even after hosting them in the past, and this is strictly due to the fact that I have no idea how long the server will last and what quality the server will even be in 6 months down the road. Having the trust of quality in the game is going to be a huge thing Blizzard will need to grab from me. But being a large company who promises to deliver, I have far more trust in them than Joe down the street. Having the ease of use to install the game through the Battle.net client and play the game legally with little to no hassle will encourage players to actually play the game. But why is this a good thing? Why am I saying all of this? Well, with server caps, localization, consistent quality, and a large population, this will produce a diversity in which the players can test other realms, something that existed in vanilla. The ability to go through realms and try them out to determine whether you like the social community on that realm, the true beginning to realm favoritism, where people had a home, essentially allowing you to choose your family and grow up with them. Having all of these features as a quality feature produced from the standalone fact of being a quality company will give us the ability to play the game in the manner we as an individual wish to play the game, whether we like a cheaper auction house, or we like ganking lower levels, or love to raid. These are all things that would be managed by the nature of the beast over time simply by having multiple realms to browse through. Now on to the doubts on Classic, which could very well cause an issue with the game, starting with game knowledge. Pretty much everything about this game can be easily found online. How to complete quests, how to obtain items, the best spec, pre-BIS gear. This info is all easily obtainable. Is this a bad thing? Not necessarily, but over the course of 15 years, we have pretty much memorized the game. This is a good reason for why people are so geared so fast, why we can feel very municipal very fast, and the reason for the auction houses becoming so inflated in no time at all. Game knowledge being so well stricken can cause many issues under these circumstances. What I'm hoping is that because of the subjects I mentioned earlier, localization, population growth, and that the majority of the players coming over won't have that private server knowledge experience from the past 15 years. That the game is overridden with players who have never touched a private server. Otherwise, we could fall into the next subject being toxicity. Lightbringer is not as bad as Elysium, and neither of these are as good as Nostalrace in terms of toxicity. In my opinion, unfortunately, toxicity has become a part of gaming in today's games. League of Legends and Dota are primarily where I know they started, however they have moved on to more casual games, such as Rust or even Minecraft. The toxicity in private servers and instant gratification attitude of large player base has become very common, and instant gratification could lead to two things. 1. The destruction of classic WoW and pay-to-win features, and 2. Players quitting the game due to poor manners in dungeons, raids, or even PvP, therefore killing the game. Instant gratification and Activision is the last thing I want to cover. As I said, players have an obsession with instant gratification in this generation, and unfortunately Blizzard is partnered with Activision, whom we know to release DLC for things that should not be DLC. The question is, will Activision allow us to have this game without features, which you pay for, if for some reason players are able to purchase character boost, items, mounts, pets, or anything of the sort from Activision for Classic WoW? This will remove a huge amount of reward for playing the game. Enough to the point where I, as somebody who would be willing to pay $30 a month in order to play Classic WoW under a quality server, would rather swap to a private server. I don't want to play a game where somebody can pay money to win. This removes the fun from the game and destroys the community. Overall, I have hope and faith in Blizzard because of the Nostalrace situation and the timing of the announcement, but only time will tell. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of my content.